If you've ever struggled with eating vegetables, or you know someone who always pushes them to the side of their plate, then stay with me till the end of this video. Because by the time we're done, you'll understand why some people naturally avoid vegetables, what it says about their psychology, and what you can do to change that without forcing yourself. What you'll gain from this is not just an understanding of food, but a deeper understanding of your mind, how your past, your emotions, and your senses silently shape your eating habits every single day. Now let's be honest, you probably already know vegetables are good for you. You've heard that all your life. But knowing something is good doesn't automatically make you like it. That's the part most people don't understand. For many people who avoid vegetables, the issue isn't ignorance. It's emotion, memory, and habit. You see, food isn't just food. It's feeling, memory, and familiarity. The brain links tastes to emotions, and vegetables for many people are linked to something unpleasant. Maybe the bitter taste, maybe the smell, or even the memory of being forced to eat them as a child. So when you see vegetables, your brain doesn't just see food. It recalls discomfort, resistance, or control. The mind quietly whispers, "I don't like that." People who avoid vegetables often crave foods that are predictable, sweet, salty, soft, and comforting. These are sensory signals the brain recognizes as safe and rewarding. Vegetables, on the other hand, are often unpredictable, bitter, fibrous, or earthy. To a sensitive eater, that unpredictability feels uncomfortable. So they build an identity around it. I just don't eat vegetables. I've never liked greens. I can't stand the smell. These phrases become emotional shields that justify avoidance and silence guilt. You might even find yourself feeling a strange sense of pride in rejecting vegetables, as if it's part of who you are, and that's because the mind loves consistency. Once you identify yourself as someone who doesn't like vegetables, your brain defends that image. You don't want to contradict yourself, even when you know you should probably eat better. It's not stubbornness alone. It's psychological preservation. You are protecting the version of yourself you've known for years. But there's another side to this: control. Some people avoid vegetables because they represent pressure. Growing up, they were forced to eat them or scolded for not doing so. Now, as adults, avoiding them becomes a quiet act of rebellion. You tell yourself, "I'm grown now. I'll eat what I want." It's not about the food anymore. It's about freedom. The plate becomes a statement of independence. Others, though, have sensory-based aversions. They are extremely sensitive to textures and smells. The crunch of carrots, the slipperiness of spinach, or the earthy taste of broccoli simply overstimulate their senses. They're not exaggerating. Their brains literally perceive these sensations as too much. It's not always a choice. It's a genuine discomfort that feels physical. But here's where the problem starts. The longer you avoid vegetables, the more your taste buds and gut bacteria adapt to a different environment. One dominated by processed, salty, or sugary foods. Your palate loses its ability to appreciate natural flavors. Your cravings shift completely, and as a result, your body starts sending mixed signals: constant hunger, low energy, bloating, mood swings, even poor concentration. You may think you're just tired or stressed, but what's really happening is that your body is undernourished in subtle but powerful ways. People who avoid vegetables often feel like they're functioning just fine, until the signs start piling up. Constipation becomes normal. Fatigue becomes daily. Skin loses its glow. Inflammation quietly builds up inside, and over time the risk of obesity, diabetes, or high blood pressure silently increases. It's a slow, quiet decline that doesn't scream. It whispers through small discomforts you've learned to ignore. Now let's talk about the benefits of reversing this pattern. Not because someone says you should, but because you deserve to feel better when you start eating vegetables. Even in small amounts, something subtle happens. Your gut microbiome begins to shift. The bacteria that thrive on fiber start waking up, producing chemicals that boost mood, improve digestion, and even support your immune system. Your taste buds start to reprogram too. The bitterness that once felt unbearable slowly becomes tolerable, and eventually, even satisfying. But here's the secret. You don't have to start big. You don't have to love kale tomorrow. Change starts with exposure, not perfection. Start by sneaking vegetables into foods you already like. Blend spinach into a fruit smoothie. You won't taste it. Roast carrots or sweet potatoes with a touch of oil and salt so they caramelize instead of tasting raw. Chop vegetables finely into rice or pasta. Don't aim to be healthy. Aim to be consistent. And here's something else. Stop labeling yourself as someone who doesn't eat vegetables. That phrase is heavier than it seems. Every time you repeat it, you reinforce the behavior. Instead, say, "I'm learning to add more vegetables." That subtle language shift changes how your brain perceives the action. from identity to progress. Also, reframe how you think about taste. You're not supposed to love vegetables instantly. Most adults who enjoy them didn't always. It's a trained appreciation. Taste is plastic. It changes with repetition. Just like you once had to get used to coffee, beer, or spicy food, your brain can learn to accept vegetables. It takes about 10 to 15 exposures for your palate to adapt. That means you just need patience, not perfection. And don't forget your emotions. If your dislike for vegetables started from childhood, give yourself grace. You're not childish for avoiding them. You're human. But now that you're aware, you have the power to rewrite the association. Stop seeing vegetables as punishment and start seeing them as partnership, your body's quiet allies. When you eat them, don't just chew and swallow. Notice the colors, the crunch, the freshness. Slow down. Let your senses reconnect. This mindful approach retrains your brain to find pleasure where it once found discomfort. By the time you reach this point, you should realize avoiding vegetables isn't a sign of ignorance or weakness. It's a mirror reflecting something deeper about your relationship with control, comfort, and self-care. But once you understand that, you can change it, not by forcing yourself, but by befriending your own biology and psychology. So the next time you sit down to eat, remember this: your plate is more than food. It's a reflection of your relationship with yourself. The more balance you bring to it, the more balance you bring into your life. If you've watched this far, then you've already taken the first step: awareness. Now take the next one: intention. Your body is waiting for you to treat it like someone you love. Start small, stay gentle, and remember, change doesn't begin in the mouth. It begins in the mind.